doing another draft today, Chris. We've already done a draft. It feels weird to do a second one, but we typically do in advance of the upcoming slate of games, the most important matchups for the week. So week 6, most important matchups. That's what we're going to do. And I have the question for you to determine the first selection in the draft.
Okay.
Daniel Jones and the Giants face the Patriots tonight on Thursday Night Football, as we all know. Bill Belichick has not lost to a rookie quarterback since 2013. Who was the rookie quarterback who beat Bill Belichick?
Wow, 2013. Who would be that quarterback back then? Gosh, this is really going to frustrate me. Ooh, 2000. I don't even know who the hell the damn rookie quarterbacks were in 2013. I don't know. I give up. Go ahead. Just tell me.
All right, good. I was thinking about giving you a hint. What if I told you, and you've already forfeited it.
Yes.
What if I told you, think about where I'm sitting?
You're in West Virginia. And
boy, you're not very good with hints.
No, I'm
Geno
not.
Smith.
Oh,
Geno
my
Smith.
gosh. Geno Smith got a victory against the Patriots in 2013.
It's so incomprehensible. The possibility didn't even enter your brain.
It really didn't. I was like, what are you talking about?
The Jets and Geno Smith on a Nick Folk 42-yard field goal in overtime. The Jets did indeed beat the Patriots. All right,
wow.
I got the first pick. And there are plenty of different ways I can go, but you know, I'm going to start with the obvious one in light of the injuries that we've been discussing. If you were watching on NBCSN, you saw the little segment we did on the San Francisco running game and how potent it's been this year. Well, Joe Staley's been out. Now Mike McGlinchey is out.
Yeah.
And the Rams are the next opponent with Aaron Donald, Dante Fowler Jr., and this could get ugly. Rams offensive line against, let me get that right. 49ers offensive line against the Rams front seven. That is going to be something that will decide that game. And I went back and forth on 49ers Rams until yesterday. And when you throw the Kyle Juszczyk injury on top of the Mike McGlinchey injury, on top of the Joe Staley injury, I think the 49ers are going to be in for a long day. And I think that's going to be a key matchup. If the 49ers are going to win that game, they've got to win that matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I mean, Kyle Shanahan's going to have to do a lot to, not put some of those guys in some bad positions or hide, the right tackle with certain run schemes and pass protection and things like that. And, of course, not having Juszczyk is a big deal. But I'm with you. That was one of the matchups I wrote there. I was debating whether that would have been my first pick to go as well. I'm going to go to the Cleveland-Seattle game. I'm going to go Myles Garrett and Olivier Vernon versus Russell Wilson. Not only, I didn't want to make it too broad, but, man, Russell Wilson last week, okay? That was just an absolute unbelievable performance. I mean, there's not many guys in football that could have pulled off that game against the Rams. I mean, how many times did he get them out of danger as far as pass protection is concerned? His ability to make magic out of some of those plays is truly, truly phenomenal. And he was like a one-man highlight show in that football game. But that will be a huge matchup because Vernon, Myles Garrett, they're going to have their hands full trying to contain him, get pressure on him so he doesn't make some of these plays like we'll see here, because when he gets outside the pocket, watch out. He's just truly a phenomenal guy, a phenomenal player.
Yeah, and it's amazing how when he's in that spot where the walls close in, he can squirt out of trouble so quickly and make things happen with his legs. And, I was going to go the other side of the ball in this game, but we'll get to a different game. But I just want to mention Baker Mayfield against the Seattle defense. This is such a critical game for the Browns and for the Seahawks. They can cement their early grip on the NFC West if they can go to Cleveland and win. But the Browns need this to avoid sliding to 2-4.
Right.
And Baker Mayfield has looked sluggish, right? He doesn't have that same pop when the walls close in. He's got some mobility, but not nearly enough. And he doesn't have the same anticipation that a guy like Patrick Mahomes has to get out of trouble before it's too late. And it feels like, Chris, he's always running for his life when he takes off, and that he's making bad throws.
Yeah.
He's throwing off his back foot. He's throwing with funny body angles and funny arm angles, and it doesn't work for him the way it works for Patrick Mahomes when he tries to do it. So that's a huge matchup as well, whether he can solve the Seattle defense, whether he can be quick with his reads. We were talking about that earlier, too.
Right. That's
Odell Beckham Jr.'s double covered. Move to the next guy. Don't wait for Odell Beckham to come open. Move to the next guy, and Mayfield needs to process that information faster. All right, I am going to go next to a game that isn't going to get a whole lot of attention, but maybe it should and maybe it will if the Cardinals find a way to win. And that Falcons defense is so bad right now. And that Cardinals offense showed some promise last week. And with Dan Quinn's job on the line now, and look, even if he wins in Arizona on Sunday, back-to-back home games against the Rams and the Seahawks before the bye week make it very difficult to create a strong case that 2-6 allows him to continue after the bye. But if they can't put the clamps on this Arizona offense, you could see Kyler Murray and company win their second straight game. I mean, and that would be the low point for the Atlanta Falcons, to go into Arizona and lose to that team with a first-year head coach, a rookie quarterback. You've got the MVP from 2016 in Matt Ryan. You've got Julio Jones at receiver. But it all comes down to the Falcons' defense. Can the Falcons' defense slow down the Arizona offense? It couldn't get it done, and that's an understatement, 53 points later against the Texans. It's a critical matchup in this game, and Dan Quinn's job may be riding on it.
Yeah, well, the Falcons' defense stinks. That's certainly. I would expect this almost to be a shootout. I really would, because neither defense is really good, and of course the Atlanta Falcons do still have Matt Ryan, and of course that receiving core that can be dangerous. So could be a lot of fun. Can't really believe you even picked this game. Okay, of all the great games on Sunday, you talked about the crappy Falcons versus the crappy Cardinals. You lost this draft, okay?
Now, listen, I'm trying to give all the teams some attention. I get so many emails from, you didn't talk about the Broncos. You didn't talk about this team. You didn't talk about the team. I hate to respond and say, well, they stink. That's why I don't talk about them.
Right.
But I found a way to wedge in a little love for the Falcons, a little love for the Cardinals.
Great. Thanks for wasting our time. All right, so here we go.
Now you know how I feel 2 hours every day.
They don't have my email, okay? I'm going to go Spags, okay? Spagnuolo versus Deshaun Watson and the Kansas City Chiefs-Houston Texans matchup. I mean, yes, a little bit of the similar thing I just talked about with Russell Wilson, but this Kansas City Chiefs team defensively reeling a little bit after what happened to them with the Colts last week. Chris Jones, he's injured. Now you got to deal with Deshaun Watson, him running around. The Houston Texans, even though not a great offense, they do run the ball and stay patient with it, and they found another guy other than DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, to where, I think Steve Spanuolo, he's going to have his hands full in this matchup on what is he going to do to slow down Deshaun Watson and this Texans attack.
Yeah, and this is another one where you could go to the other side of the ball and say Patrick Mahomes against the Houston defense, because we're starting to see the formula for slowing down the Chiefs' passing game, and Mahomes is a little banged up. Can the Texans' defense replicate some of the things that they have seen from teams like the Lions, teams like the Colts, the Patriots dating back to the AFC Championship? So I thought if you're going to go for one from that game, that's the one that I thought maybe you would go to.
I thought about it too, I thought about it.
I'm only saying that because you crapped on my pick.
Yeah, no, I know. Yes, that's okay. Well, yes. I just, I went with two quarterbacks that are phenomenal and having to stop them with my first two picks. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I mean, they're playing some phenomenal football right now.
I'm going to go to London in part because
you sound like you're from London.
Please. Now, that's 15 more emails I'm going to get. You have no idea how many emails I get every day from the folks who watch the show on Sky Sports pointing out something dumb that you have said. And also, they really want us to go over there. And I need to quit talking about it, because the more I talk about it, the more they keep saying, we really want you to come over.
Yes.
So we need to go over. And now I'm going to get more emails on that, too. Christian McCaffrey versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, okay.
I think back to week 2, the Thursday night game, and Cam Newton was injured. Why didn't they use Christian McCaffrey more? He had 16 carries for 37 yards. So when he did run the ball, he got bottled up by Todd Bowles and company. And if the Panthers are going to win this game and move to 4-2 and essentially deliver an early death blow to the Buccaneers' shot at winning the division, they need to use Christian McCaffrey a heck of a lot more than they did, and he needs to be more effective when he gets the ball than he was back in week 2. Again, 16 carries for 37 yards, 2 catches for 16 yards, no touchdowns. He's been phenomenal in every other game except that one. This is his chance at a little redemption. This is Norv Turner's chance at calling up some plays that use him a little bit more and get him in space where he can do his thing. But the Buccaneers, even though they don't have a great defense, they they were the best that anyone has been against McCaffrey, and here comes round 2.
Yeah, well, they have some athletic linebackers, certainly, and they've seen Christian McCaffrey before, but that's a big matchup. You're right. I mean, yeah, they're going to use McCaffrey, and can those Bucs linebackers step up and cover him out of the backfield and stop him in the run game? All right, I'm going to go with a little bit of a running back thing, too. I'm going Kerryon Johnson versus the Packers defensive front, Packers front seven. You know, I look at that game and go, that's dangerous for Green Bay. I know they're at home, and it's Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay at home, and they're special, but the run defense for the Green Bay Packers is not good. It is a little worrisome, and I was a little surprised Dallas didn't rely on the run early on in that game last week a little bit more than it did. But Detroit, dangerous in the run game. Their offensive line has kind of found their way. It's a pretty good group, and Kerryon Johnson is pretty damn good back there toting the rock. So I look at that as being a really big matchup in this game. And if the Lions want to pull off the upset, his success in the run game will go a long way to that.
All right, that's it for today's draft on the matchups to watch for Week 6. You know, there was one more I was going to mention. Let me just go ahead and mention it. Carson Wentz in Minnesota, in that noise, trying to make his changes at the line of scrimmage. You know, that doesn't get mentioned as much as it should, but it is very, very difficult for a quarterback in that setting to get his message across to his linemen. He's been doing more of that stuff as he grows in the offense. It's going to be harder for him on Sunday. That's a big game both for him and for the Minnesota Vikings.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.